up, everybody? Welcome into another episode of Profit Picks. If you are new, we start this show off by being transparent. And yesterday, another great day. I mean, the NBA, we had Hardenstein over 15 and a half rebounds plus assists. That cashed. It was, he had me a little nervous, but it cashed. And then in college basketball, we had Monmouth plus 14 and a half. They almost won the game. And Houston first half minus 14 and a half. Easy money. Easy money. Veno, it's good to have you back on here. It's been a little bit. How's everything been with you?
It's good. Been on a good run as of late. The month of December has been really good. I think up 32, 33 units in the first 10 days of the month. So it's been good everywhere. Last night, one play came from college basketball, the College of Charleston St. Joe's game over 151. Got home for us. So that was a good winner. You and I talked a little bit yesterday on the Wagertalk Today NBA tip-off show. And I had a couple of leans in the NBA, Skee, but I didn't really play them. I thought the Milwaukee team total was good. It wound up being good. And I thought that the OKC Dallas game might stay under. It stayed under. So maybe I should have had a little more conviction in my thoughts yesterday. But I'm not complaining because, like I say, the run's been good this month.
Let's try to keep it going for both of us. Carry on. Shout out to you, Carry On. I did have hosted a contest, Splash Sports, for the tiers, which is like daily fantasy, and Carry On won. It was winner take all. Wasn't a lot of people in there, but it's still nonetheless it's a winner. So Carry On, it's no shocker. All the player props that you give throughout the show, you won the contest. So shout out to you. Josh, reminding everybody to hit the like button. Definitely helps out the show, and we appreciate it. So let's get started. We got two games. First, we'll go Hawks and Knicks. This one opened up Knicks minus 8.5, and right now I see eights. The total opened 233.5, and right now it looks like 237 across the board. Trae Young is probable. You have Hunter also probable, but Jalen Johnson and Bogdanovich both questionable. No Lundy, no Zeller for them. For the Knicks, we have Karl Anthony Towns listed as probable. Josh Hart is questionable, and Mitchell Robinson is out. So we know, Rob, some history between these teams, especially my guy Trae Young. He likes to go play over there in the Garden. Um, Hawks have also been playing pretty good lately, and like we've talked about, they've started to play a little bit of defense. The Knicks, I feel like they've played defense for the most part lately, and they're at the house. I'm curious how you're feeling in this game.
Yeah, it's interesting, Ski. I will say that I played the game, and the way I played it was the Atlanta team total over 114 and a half. The first time around, it was 121, 116 in this building, Madison Square Garden. The Hawks won. They've gone over for 114 and a half, 7 of their last 9. So the offense, although the defense is playing well, and in fact, Quinn Snyder said when the defense plays well, the offense is even better because they can get out in transition. So I like the way they're scoring at this point in time. I like the fact that Trae Young loves to play the Knicks. In fact, I got to give you this quote, Ski. I don't know if you saw it or not. This is Trae Young talking about tonight. I hope these New York fans find their way to the exit real quick. Boo, take your rear ends home. So that's what he has to say to the New York fans. And he doesn't mind. We know it. We've seen it before. He had 23 points, 10 assists the first time around. He's got scoring help. I tried to read into the Jalen Johnson thing. It looks to me like he's going to go, which is what pushed me over the top with the 114 and a half over. Knicks obviously scoring well. But I just have a little more faith in Atlanta to get to the smaller number. The Knicks number was a little bit larger required price here. And I don't really have enough conviction to play this full game over 237. There's some talk about what it's worth to these guys. It was Jalen Brunson who said there's money involved, so that's motivation enough. It's a little over $500,000 if you win this thing. I think it's $50K per player just to get this far. So these guys obviously motivated by a little bit of money. I think both sides come to play. I just have a little more trust in the way Atlanta's playing offense. The fact that Trae Young loves to play against the Knicks, the fact that they got 121 the first time in this building, I think getting to 115 should be doable for the Hawks.
I would try to talk you off of the over. And what I would say is, I mean, when I look at the Knicks for one, they're not playing with pace. The last 6 games, they're allowing 103 points per game. This is not the same Knicks team that you've seen play the entire year. Like they've been playing a lot better defense lately. The Hawks, I would say the same thing, Veno. They were allowing close to 120, right under 120 points per game on the season. The last 6 games, it's more like 115. So both teams improving defensively, or have been playing improved defense lately. And I think we got to look at current form more than just how we might view these teams. That's at least how I see it. And I would say the Knicks. I mean, 237. That's an extremely high total for a Knicks game.
Mm-hmm.
We haven't seen them hit that in a while, so that would be my counter argument for the total.
Yeah, real quick, Skee, I wouldn't put up a fight on full game total. Like I said, I think the Hawks will get their team total wise. If you just look at the Knicks results where they've been playing good defense, it's banged up Charlotte, it's banged up New Orleans, it's banged up Orlando, it's banged up Charlotte again, played Detroit, give up 120, and then a 108 to Toronto. So I guess there's a little bit of closer examination to the teams that they have been holding to low point totals recently, last 7 games. It's probably why I singled this out and narrowed it down to just Hawks team total. Because again, much like when we talked about Oklahoma City, Dallas last night, it's a little bit of a playoff feel to these things. You could see some intensity last night with 2 high scoring teams. Those teams played at pace as well. And still couldn't get to the number. So 237. And let's say this, Skee, real quick, to your point about wanting to play full game under. First game was 121 to 116. That's exactly 237. You have to feel like there'll be a little more defense played in this game. 236 still cashes your ticket. So under full game could be a way to look as well.
2 comments. Yo-Yo Street says, "Where's the money, Hawks or Knicks?" And I think this might be a new name we're in here in the comment section. You might be in the wrong place because I'll say I personally don't really care too much about where the money is on any of the games. I just cap the games. I will look at it every now and then, but I'll say I look because you asked. The Knicks and the Warriors are getting all of the bets today. That's what it looks like. Ninja 13 says in the NBA Cup, teams getting over 50% of the bets are 2-7 ATS. He says 69% of bets are on the Rockets. I see bets on the Warriors and I see bets on the Knicks. Again, he says, any thoughts about these stats? I'm not making bets because of who other people are betting. I'm making bets because of what I think is going to happen. So that's just how I do it. Any thing you want to add there?
I will just say, Skee, that I don't pay attention to it either because I always question the accuracy of those numbers. I don't know where they're coming from. I don't know what casino. I don't know if they're a consensus number, if they're coming from one casino. I really have no idea where those numbers actually come from. I'm with you. What we use for the most part is the Wagertalk odds screening, which does show 62% of the money on the Knicks, 90% of the money on Golden State. With 90% of the money on them, the line's only been pushed down from 2.5 to 2. So, I never really understand the meaning behind those numbers. I know a lot of people use them, but to me, they don't have enough influence over the way I handicap.
Prolific has me thinking. Yeah, I agree with you, Rob. I had to double check. Today's not Thursday. Today's Wednesday. I was correct there. KC liking some props. She says Dyson rebounds and assists over 7.5, steals over 2.5, PRA over 19.5. Appreciate you, Yo-Yo Street. Says yesterday was one of them days I don't care where the money is either, but good to know sometimes. I can agree with that. All right, next game up, we'll have Warriors and Rockets. This opened up Rockets -2.5. They're now -2, and the total hasn't moved very much, maybe a half a point, if anything. Consensus is 221.5. For the Warriors, Wiggins is questionable. Wiggins is probable. Moody looks like he's out. For the Rockets, I did see something popped up this morning about Şengün. I think he was going through shoot around or something, but he's questionable. Steven Adams also questionable. Same for Tate and Whitmore. So we'll see who's actually available a little bit later. Um, Vino, I like what you were saying yesterday about this Rockets team is a little bit motivated, and for the cup, and I think they're motivated to beat Golden State. I mean, Golden State has been whooping on them for a while now, and the Rockets are really good at home. I have a feeling you're on the Rockets. I'm leaning towards the Rockets. What do you think?
Yeah, I think just to put it into context, we were asked yesterday on the Wager Talk show to which team, if you were looking for a long shot, you would prefer to play on the future board. And, my immediate response was the Rockets. They've got a home floor here. And I just feel like they're probably the team that wants this thing more than any of the others involved. Maybe exception to that would be the Bucks, who, like I said at the time, I think they need it just from a confidence standpoint to make themselves believe again that they're a true contender. But the Rockets have all the pieces here. Skee. Now, Şengün's a big deal. We know that. So let's hope he plays here for Houston. I think he will. They played without Fred VanVleet last game, who a lot of the young guys have credited Fred VanVleet, and including head coach Ime Udoka, who said that he's a calming influence on this team. They played without him. They found a way to win without them. And the head coach said, we just keep gaining confidence. It's good for us to play sometimes without a couple of our veteran leaders. So he's back in the lineup tonight. It's helpful. I think that I do think Golden State's going to come to play here. There's no question about it. I'm interested to see the injury report later on, whether Şengün goes or not. This Houston team plays plenty of defense. And again, like I said yesterday, they're so flexible. Let's use that. They can play with pace. They can play half court. They can play defensive. They can play on the interior. They can play on the perimeter. They've got every single thing covered. It's a difficult matchup for Golden State, although Golden State's extremely deep this year. I think you and I have both been in agreement that we like their depth on this team. A couple of guys on the injury list that you mentioned would shorten that a little bit if they don't go. I do kind of like Houston, but I don't want to play them without Şengün, so we'll wait and see. But for folks looking on the future board at the price of the Rockets to win this whole thing, I would not talk you off making a bet on Houston to go the distance in this tournament.
I think they were like 7-1, something around there. So absolutely a nice price. And I would not be surprised at all if they got the job done tonight. I think that's the side that I would be putting my money on if I have to pick. What up, you Capper? Good to see you out there in the chat. Damn, Vino, that's it. We done already, quick and easy.
And they shortened it up on us today.
They only 2 games, so we'll not hold everybody up. Probably shortest show we've ever done. Best bets. Before I ask you for a best bet, is there anything you would like to promote?
Well, let me just say that over at wagertalk.com, for those of you that are playing college football, they have a tremendous special on the bowl games in the college football playoff. There's 46 games total when you count everything that's going to go from this Saturday on. I also handicap FCS playoffs, went 2-0 with that last week. If you're interested in bowl games, like I say, there's 46 games left, and they have a great price. Special offer on those. You can find that over at wagertalk.com. Skee always has the link in the description, so just follow that. You can find my work over there. Best bet, Skee, I can only give you the one that I played so far. So that would be the Hawks team total over 114.5. I think they'll get to 115 in this game against the Knicks tonight. Should be a really good game. I think both sides are motivated to get there. Jalen Brunson talking about money. Trae Young talking about sending New York fans home early. So I think we're going to get 48 minutes of basketball out of both of them. When I add it all up, I think 115 is a doable number for the Hawks.
All right, good stuff. For myself, I'm just gonna stick with wagertalk.com, and I'm gonna put this one up here. Let's see. Yeah, there we go. So they did put something together for me. It pretty much is a 2-for-1. If you get the NBA, you get college basketball for just $1. And right now, I'm hot in both of them. I won 9 college in a row. I think what 31 and 15 NBA run. But if you look at both of them together, I've won 18. I think what 18, 4-1 run for basketball in general. So if you would like to be involved, you can find all of my work at wagertalk.com. And for my best bet for the show, Rob and I will see differently. I'm gonna go Atlanta and New York under. Best number you can get right now is 237. I bet 238. I I'm not. I mean, I think that you get the defenses from both of these teams that we've seen lately. I think you get the Hawks. I mean, I think you get the Knicks pace. And if I mean, I like it regardless if they play or not. But if Jalen Johnson, if Bogdanovich don't play, that would really, cripple the Hawks offense. So I like the full game under 237. That would be my best bet for the show. Rob, it's always good to do these shows with you. I appreciate you coming and breaking the games down with me. Um, yeah, we'll talk again if you're free tomorrow, or if not, we'll talk again on Friday. And then chat, we appreciate you guys too. A lot of great people and great cappers, and you guys definitely make the show. So I'll be on later with Wham, Dutch, and Babano to talk at these games out a little bit more, 1 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. If you want to hear more about NBA, I'll catch you guys then.